Welcome to Land Academy. I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit.
We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth.
And sell it on the internet really fast.
We are Jack and Jill,
and this is the Jack and Jill Show 2.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property.
Of all kinds, not just land.
For half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
JackJill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about the JackJill TV show called Get There First. It's in its concept stage.
Yep.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Yep. Heather asks, when it comes to advertising of your vacant properties, I was wondering if it was a good idea to do subliminal advertisement. All right, what does this mean? Is there like a woman with not much clothes on standing off to the side of the property on the lead photo? That's what I think of subliminal. Whispers.
That's a good idea.
Buy this land now. Don't ask questions. Just smile. Cash only. Buy. Yes. Or would you would you suggest trying that or stick to the more traditional ways? Have you ever tried that at all?
Is this
I'm
serious
wondering.
Question?
Yes. I'm sure it's not made up. I'm sure it's in.
I thought it was a joke.
No. Oh, you really did?
Yeah.
No. This is. I promise. My team is. They would not think to do that. I think it would be cool if they threw something funny in there at us like a zinger. But no, this is a legitimate question. So, no, I would not do anything like that. It's just my way. I don't think you need to. I think it speaks for itself.
I think we go out of our way
to be
in this group
transparent
and all of our stuff to be honest and straightforward with everybody about everything.
Exactly. Good.
So, no, I don't.
Whether or not it hurts.
This is actual. If you're really asking us, Heather, would I suggest that you do this, or have I tried it ever at all? The answer is no and no. I would never ever try to deceive anybody. If anything, it's the other way around. Like, are you sure you want to buy this property out there? It's pretty far.
Right.
And if their answer is, yeah, I've had it. I've lived in Manhattan my whole life. I'm sick of it.
Right. I'm dying to go for a hunting property or whatever it is.
Then that's the right property. But if you're going to go out there and expect, everything to work right away, and turnkey situation, that's just not how these rural properties are.
Wait, I have a Heather compliment though. Heather does get a big star for thinking outside the box here, because that's one thing that we do say is get creative, and I appreciate that. So Heather was getting creative and really trying to come up with something different. Not sure this is the right one, but that's okay. Keep going. You'll find it.
How could you pull it off? Like, let's say we wanted to do subliminal advertising on the internet.
I would seriously have a woman in a bikini on the property.
That's not subliminal.
Well, that's true.
That's just sex sells.
Well,
and I'm all for that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Whatever it takes. I mean, if you're going to sell some stuff to a woman, do the opposite. I absolutely am all for that.
Okay.
I'm just saying subliminal advertising is like somebody airbrushing something in, where you're.
Well, that's lying.
That's lying.
Well, that's not even subliminal.
Remember when, how casinos pump oxygen into the thing to keep you there longer? That's subliminal. Because you're not conscious of it.
The smells in Disneyland walking down the street that make you hungry and stuff like that. So I got that.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, that's subliminal.
Yeah, and it's dishonest.
It is. It's, using their other senses. So,
like, I heard department stores do that. Speak really quietly, like, you need to buy a new dress. And you don't even,
seriously.
It doesn't hit your consciousness. It goes into your head. Or Coke commercials and stuff.
Clearly works for me.
You don't need it.
So here's the thing, Heather. There's no question it works. So the point is, do you want to be that person? That's it. And I don't think you need to. I appreciate the question. I don't think you need to go there.
If your property's priced at half, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You just need some good shots.
Exactly.
We have a guy in our group, two separate members. What ends up happening is people find their little niches and they do stuff and they swear by it. And one guy buys higher priced property and gets a drone shot for every single one. And he sells away. It sells immediately. Mm-hmm. So it's expensive and time consuming, but
it works.
He's got it down. So what I would do is, since Heather, you're interested in something out of the box, just nicely put it that way. try some type of unique marketing scenario that no one's ever tried. Or pick like a drone shot scenario, but just be an expert at it.
Exactly. Good question, though.
Yeah. If you have a question or you'd like to be on the show, reach out to either one of us on landinvestors.com. Today's topic, the JackJill TV show called Get There First. This is the meat of the show.
So, we alluded to this the other day on a Facebook post that I did when you and I were up at Lake Arrowhead looking at property.
Yeah.
And just having a little fun and a little break at an Oktoberfest. So we went up there to spend a little time and kind of put this on paper.
Real estate weekend by Jack.
Of course. No, it was good. We had a really good time. It was a spa weekend for me too. It was it was really a great trip. I think we have it down now.
Here's the truth. It was my idea to schedule a couples massage, and I backed out because I wanted to go look at real estate instead.
It's true.
And Jill's just shaking her head the whole time.
And I just said, well, then I'll go without you.
So instead of an hour massage, Jill got a 2-hour massage.
Yeah.
And I got to look at land.
It was perfect. And then we had this down. Then you took me back out only to look at the best stuff.
Yeah.
After you weeded out all the junk, I get to go look at the good stuff. So it was really a win-win.
And you were like a noodle, so I could have showed you the worst property on the planet.
This is true. And I was like, oh, it's gorgeous. So, yes, exactly. So we started to... So here, let me back up even more. We've been approached at times to do different real estate shows. And Jack and I have always said no because it's never on our schedule. We don't want to be...
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, on someone's schedule. So we are now...
And I don't want to be a movie star.
Going down the process. Radio star, you do.
Yes.
You like that. You have what's that joke? You have a face for radio. I love that. It's not you. It just made me think of it because it's so
Thanks,
funny.
Jill.
No, Jack, stop it.
No, I know.
So, anyway, so Jack and I, all right, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it our way. So we started to lay it out, like really lay it out. I've got our cinematographer and director and editor lined up. I'm the producer. Jack's content.
The writer.
And you actually already have, a couple episodes sketched out.
Yeah, so here's the show. We do a little bit of research. We find a little market. Let's just say houses. We're doing for houses, not land, because it's easier. And bang, bang, bang. There's a tiny bit of funny instruction inside the computer about sending, and the letters go out. The offers go out. But even before that, we interview who the flipper is going to be, the wholesaler, who we're going to sell the property to, who we're going to wholesale the property is going to renovate it. We send a bunch of offers out in the mail. We fill that guy's order, and then we get a bunch of responses, signed offers back, and then we go and talk to the people and find out why they want to sell it. And I already know how it's going to go. And this is not scripted. We've done it so many times, we just know how it's going to go. Oh, it's time for me to retire, and my kids are gone. I'm just done. I don't want to clean the house up, and you seem like nice people, so I'm happy to sell it. Oh, yeah, I know that. I'm not selling it for the top price. That's not what I want here.
Right.
I just want to get the cash and get out and go live with my sister in Idaho.
Yep.
It's all some version of that.
Yep.
It's never, you heathen, awful person, you're going to give me less than my property's worth.
No.
It's never.
It's a win-win for everybody. It's like, I describe the show as this. It's like what happens to how the asset is acquired before you see the people doing the flip. Because that's what everybody sees, and they want to see them moving walls and everything. But more interesting to us as investors and every other investor is where the asset came from and what they paid for the asset, and all that good stuff.
So the challenge is...
That's where the money is.
A lot of these shows you see on HGTV, and most of these renovation shows, the challenge for us is that there's no before and after, let's pull the sheet off of the house and look at everybody's expression.
Right.
How much my bedroom's changed.
But we're going to pull the sheet off of the bank account.
Well, that's it. That's exactly right. So,
and that's all I need.
At the end of the thing, at the end of, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, you can show 6 or 7 assets with netting out $25,000 to $45,000.
With no work.
Yeah, I mean, that's how
no
to make...
swinging a hammer.
We could call it how to make $250,000 in a month and a half.
That's true.
But that's just... I don't like that. That's just boasting and silly.
Right.
But so the before and after is bank account, and I agree. Like, did you ever see Two Broke Girls, that show?
Yeah.
You could show their bank account.
You love that.
They flash the
Yeah,
bank
I remember
account.
that. The beginning of the show, how much money, or is it at the end of every show? I think it's at the end of every show. They show what they started with and they ended with at that week or whatever.
So I don't think the show's for everybody, I think it can be entertaining.
Oh, we'll make
For
it
certain,
fun.
yeah, we laugh about it and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be
But I
really
think
interesting
The
because
whole point is to dispel the mysteries of
That's it.
There's not that much of a mystery here. I don't know why the whole world's not doing it.
You know what we should do? I think if we spend a little bit of time too, Jack, I think one of the mysteries that people come to me is, well, where do you find the buyer? Well, this is even just talking about, this is how we found the buyer.
Yeah.
Where they came from, what they're willing to spend, and how we qualify them, to go out and do the work, kind of thing. Because that's really what it is. The buyer knows what they want. They don't know how to get it. And then when they find us and know that we are the masters at going to get it, it's a win-win for everybody.
That is the single biggest mystery to me in this whole business model. So Jill and I we do find a buyer. It's really simple. You look for LLC-owned properties in a given market, or if you must get in your car and drive around a market, which I do not advocate, take note of the properties that have dumpsters in front of them. Those are your buyers. Or go on Craigslist and say, I've got a bunch of properties for sale. If you're a flipper, let me know. You're going to have more buyers. Or go on Facebook, which is what we do too, and say, if you're a home flipper in zip code 85258, we need to talk. Mm-hmm. So we just gave you the whole answer.
That's easy.
Hard. Yeah, finding a buyer is easy.
So that's the gist of the show.
But if there's anything that mystifies me, is you will sit down with the buyer and we'll say, this is what we do. And we would love to sell you some houses, so put your order in. Or you can just join our group and do it yourself. No,
I'll just tell you.
I don't want to do that.
Isn't that funny?
What's Excel? Oh, it's a spreadsheet. Oh, no, then no.
No, yeah, exactly. So you're going to send postcards out, and then I'm going to look. No, we're not even going to do that. So that's going to be the cool part.
It mystifies me that they don't want to spend.
We're gonna
take 2 weeks and learn how to do it.
The show will have us meeting with the buyer, so you can really experience what that's like. I think that's a lot of it. The show is going to be educational. It's not just entertaining. It's really going to be educational for people to say, all right, this is how the conversation would go.
Which is probably why it's going to fail.
Oh, Jack.
You know what, Jill? The reason this will succeed is because of you.
Oh.
If it was just me, in a computer whining and saying, I wonder if this is going to work.
Well, you know what already happened? Let me tell you what already happened. So Jack and I are working on the content. I'm falling into the role of producer, and I'm happy to produce it. So I'm working on the next phases, and as I'm describing this to who would be the director and oversee the editing and all that good stuff. She has an Emmy, by the way. I think is really cool. It's got the right person here. She says TV shows are not are her thing. So. Anyway,
TV shows are not her thing?
No, TV shows are her thing.
Okay.
So this is nothing new to her. TV shows are totally her
Good.
thing. That's what her Emmy is from, is a TV show. So anyway, the point is, she got excited. Next thing you know, I'm sitting here describing the TV show and all the modules, if you will, of the show and the different
segments,
things. Yeah. And it transitioned from that to, so how do you guys do this again? And then I'm realizing she's like, she wants in. She's like, can you teach me? I'm like, it's coming. You'll learn anyway. So hang in. It was really fun.
You can watch the show that you're going to direct.
Exactly. It was really, really good.
This is not hard.
It's not hard. Yep. So good. So that was, did anything else I think that's it on the show. It's going to be fun.
If you have any suggestions about this, let us know.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what you're, just email us, Jack@LandInvestors or Jill@LandInvestors, and
yeah.
say, you know what, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. No, you guys are going to dismally fail. Or
don't waste your breath. Don't waste your money.
Or you could say, it'd be great if you could do this, this, and this. Or, the big gripe that I have with reality TV shows, especially the ones on HGTV, is they're not honest. They don't get into any detail.
Exactly.
They don't. They're out there. It's just a big puff of.
They don't give numbers. They used to give numbers, and then they stopped giving numbers. So I'm like, all right.
So we'll have a much smaller audience on the show in the end, but
like
a much better
5. Just kidding.
But a much better one, you know?
Right. Well, I was going to add one last point is we are talking about doing some of our successful people because we have a lot of successful, obviously, wholesalers, investors in our group and that are already doing this. So we might do some transactions with them and bring them in, show some of theirs. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. I mean, what Jill's saying is if you've done a deal or two and you want some free promotion.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a pretty big budget for this, quite honestly, and a big advertising budget.
Exactly.
You want to get your properties out there and get your name out there, let us know. Email us, and if you're not incredibly boring,
right,
we'll put you on the show. Join us in the next episode where we discuss wholesaling SFRs in 2018 by the numbers. Jill, it's going to be, I actually prepped for the show good.
Oh, good.
We're going to look at some data.
And I'll paint my nails. and answer Jason's question about if we should even use credit cards in this business. Oh, I have a lot to say about that.
Perfect timing. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I
can't believe the subliminal stuff.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Subliminal advertising.
Yeah. By Jill Ring.
You know, for some reason, I equate... I almost missed it.
Because it was subliminal. So, now you're rethinking that question, aren't you?
By Jill Ring. Jack, take the day off.
Yeah. Get Jill a new car.
Jack, you need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
I like this. I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry. Got that right in there. Oh, good. Okay. Hey, you like our show? Please subscribe and rate us on iTunes or wherever you're listening.
Information and inspiration to subliminally buy assets. And Jill Ring.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.